2024 was a slightly better year for hard-pressed consumers as inflation began to ease, energy prices fell and mortgage rates were cut. But what does 2025 have in store? Let's take a look. Expect to hear lots of talk about pensions and auto-enrolment in 2025. An auto-enrolment scheme where workers are automatically enrolled into a pension into which both the government and employer make contributions has long been mooted in Ireland, and similar schemes have been in operation in the UK and Australia for years. And after years of delays and false starts, the scheme is finally set to go live in Ireland from this September. If you're already contributing to a pension, then the scheme won't have much of an impact on you, but if you're not, then you'll have to start paying into a pension, so you could see a fall in your take-home pay from next autumn. Fans of online shopping should be happy as Amazon is finally set to launch its dedicated Irish website sometime this year, which it says will enhance the retail experience for new and existing customers. Ever since Amazon started selling online, Irish shoppers have had to use Amazon stores in other countries, most commonly the UK, which was the de facto Irish site. However, the German site was also popular, though many products often weren't available for delivery to Ireland. But ever since the UK left the EU, and with it came the imposition of new customs duty charges and VAT costs, the calls for an Irish Amazon site have grown louder. The launch of an Irish Amazon store should also force retailers here to up their game, particularly around delivery times, which can only be a good thing for consumers. 2025 sees Donald Trump head back to the White House for what will be another 4 more interesting years, to say the least. The president-elect has plans to impose a range of tariffs on all types of goods being imported into the US. This could have an impact on Irish economic growth, given our big trading relationship with the US. But if the EU retaliates with tariffs on American goods entering the EU, then consumers here could see a range of popular American goods increase in price. The end of 2023 and early 2024 saw most of the country's energy suppliers cut their prices twice, while SSE Electricity and Electric Ireland reduced prices for a third time in the second half of the year. This means gas and electricity prices in Ireland are now around 25 to 30% below their peak at the height of the energy crisis, but they still remain high. So will they fall more in 2025? Well, don't bet on it. Wholesale energy prices are still over double until what recently would have been considered normal levels. This doesn't look like changing much over the coming year, unfortunately, and of course any further outbreak of war or conflict could see prices shoot even higher. However, wholesale prices only make up around half of a household's energy bill. There is also VAT, government levies, grid fees, and the supplier's operating costs to take into account. At the end of April, the government is due to hike back up the rate of VAT on gas and electricity from 9% to 13.5%. If implemented, this would add around €70 a year to the average annual electricity bill and €60 a year to the average annual gas bill. And of course, the carbon tax goes up again next May. That will add around another €20 to the average annual gas bill. The cost for maintaining the country's gas and electricity grids also continues to go up. The challenge of trying to get to net zero and dealing with a rapidly growing population is also requiring big investment in our grids. Last August, the energy regulator, the CRU, sanctioned an increase in grid or network fees that added the equivalent of €60 a year to the average annual gas bill and over €100 a year to the average electricity bill. Suppliers can choose to absorb these increased fees as part of the cost of doing business or pass them on. But if these fees are increased again next year by a similar amount, which they could be, then it will limit suppliers' ability to cut prices even if wholesale prices do fall. So basically, regardless of what happens to wholesale prices over the coming months, there will be upward pressure on consumers' energy bills regardless. In many ways, if we were to get to the end of this year with prices the same as they are now, it could be considered a positive, but we definitely won't see a return to the prices that we saw before the war in Ukraine broke out anytime soon, unfortunately. 2024 saw the European Central Bank cut interest rates 4 times, and it's expected that it will reduce rates several more times in 2025 to try to revive a flagging Eurozone economy. So those with the mortgage should be happy, as 2025 should see all the main lenders continue to reduce their rates. At present, a mortgage rate as low as 3%, albeit with several caveats, is available, and a rate below 3% should be available at some stage in 2025. Tracker customers will benefit the most, so they'll be happy, but also benefiting will be the thousands of so-called mortgage prisoners whose loans were sold to vulture funds, and some of whom are still paying extortionate variable rates as high as 7% or more right now. And remember, if you're looking to buy, move or switch your mortgage over the coming year, you can compare interest rates across all lenders on bonkers.ie using our free mortgage calculator, and then you can use our mortgage broker service to get your mortgage. But it's not all good news, because there are also losers to falling interest rates. Savers are likely to start seeing their rates fall. Irish households currently have almost 160 billion resting on deposit, but the majority of the money is still in accounts that pay little to no interest. So if you have money on deposit, you should look at locking into the higher rates while they're still available. And you can easily find the best return for your money on bonkers.ie by using our savings comparison tool, where you can compare rates from the likes of AIB, Bank of Ireland, PTSB, Trade Republic, Raisin, Bunk and more. 2024 saw the 3 main health insurers announce yet more price hikes, and 2025 will start off on a bum note for Irish Life customers, as the insurer will increase its prices by an average of 3.7% from January. And in January, when the vast majority of customers renew their plans, policyholders could be looking at premium hikes of 20% or more in some cases. But in better news, a new insurer, Level Health, entered the market in 2024, which might help keep prices under control. But we'd still expect more price hikes this year, unfortunately, albeit at a lower level than the past 2 years. Broadband, mobile and TV services will become more expensive next year. In 2021 and 2022, many telecommunications providers started announcing inflation-busting price increases under so-called annual price adjustments. So Vodafone has started increasing the price of its plans by the annual rate of inflation as of January every year, plus 3%, with the change taking place each April. Air has started doing something similar. Now, with the rate of inflation for 2024 likely to come in at around 2%, Air and Vodafone customers will see their bills jump by close to 5% in April. However, households can beat these increases by switching, with lots of good deals on offer from all the main providers to new customers. Also, some streaming services are likely to increase in price yet again, as streaming providers continue to spend a fortune on producing more and more content for insatiable viewers. So consider whether you really need to be signed up to all of those services. So that's our outlook for this year. Maybe it'll come true, maybe it won't. But thank you for watching, and feel free to comment below, like and share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.